Now, as I head into Alaska, and I'm just going to show this here, there's one park that's probably got the most attention of any park in Alaska, and that's Denali National Park. Some people might know it as Mount McKinley National Park. Now, the interesting thing about it is that when they get you, they'll give you the story of why it was named Mount McKinley. It was never called Mount McKinley by any state, local entity. It was always Denali, which was the Native Americans' word for it. It was always considered Mount Denali. It was always considered Denali National Park. The story goes something like this. Way back, before McKinley even became president, a person who wanted to influence the gold standard wrote an article to the New York Times and said, hey, they named this mountain after you. Nobody had done it. Had actually done it. He completely lied. And luckily, the New York Times did not do any fact-checking, and they ran it as a national story. So everyone thought, oh, the tallest mountain in North America is called Mount McKinley. That's where it comes from. There was no reason for it to be Denali. In fact, pretty much Alaska never changed the name to Mount McKinley. They always called it Denali. And you can even see it as you go around, because they have some of the old signs say Mount McKinley, but then there's a lot more Denali popping up here and there. Whew. Denali. Denali National Park. I can't believe the weather's cooperating. Yes. Can't get enough. The one thing they don't tell you about are the bugs. They've been brutal. I mean, oh, jeez. They really have been brutal. But Denali, I don't know which peak is the actual mountain. It's probably like obscured to some degree. But off we go further. Look at this. This is up on the plateau. I mean, I just passed the Summit Airport. So I got to imagine this is, we're damn close to the entrance to Denali. Woo! Woo! I mean, what's not to love? You know, I almost want to leave this camera on the whole time. Oh. Oh. Now to go in and see Mount Denali is, well, there is one road, and pretty much only one day of the year they actually allow private cars on it. So if you actually want to do it, you're either going to have to hike in, obviously you need to get a permit, or you have to take a tour. And there's 3 tours. There's the 6-hour, the 8-hour, and the 12-hour. Depends on how close to the mountain you want to get. Now, only 33% of the people who go on any given day actually get to see it, because it tends to always be covered in clouds. But I did see parts of the mountain, so I'm one of the lucky 33%.
What was going on here? The log being the mountain, the saw being the river. Cut away as the mountain grew up. But it gives that weird phenomenon like it's flowing up a hill. But when you're in Alaska, you're in one of the most geologically active places on the planet, right? Put it back up on screen here too.
Well,
You can also get your own pictures, or you know, if you really want a wilderness, like
The tour itself in Australia,
just a rabbit.
you get a
there you
lot
go,
of
sushi there.
information about the animal life, the past history, because originally people were actually attracted to Denali not for any kind of natural beauty. They were actually attracted for a gold. There was some silver and gold discoveries in this area. Never that much, but just enough to whet everyone's appetite to come rushing. They even tell if you
Just to stop right here.
you actually spend some time in reading the stuff, that the person who actually set up the park and really wanted to contain it was a big game hunter who was shooting like rams, and he wanted to save it for the rams that were the wild rams that lived here. Denali has something like 6 million acres, so it's a huge park, and there's a lot you can do here. I imagine like the people who walk through this thing, they gotta be like, ooh, you gotta have feats of steel, because it's definitely really big and it's very scenic.
fish life? Not really, right? So a lot of glacial silt. This is a glacially fed river. The glacier's upstream from here, back up in that valley on the left. But we have these freshwater tributaries that come off of other mountains.
Since it does video,
You gotta go up and
I don't need a whole lot of
These sheep
time.
like to hang up high.
Yeah, why up?
You might have to turn those screens back on.
Right.
You guys have those screens on?
Yeah.
Yeah, so just look at all the light now. It's up there at 11 o'clock. There's a bunch of them up there. Let me zoom back out here. You can see how many there are.
Antlers. There you go.
And I got like 8 hours of footage if I need to.
Good, you made it all right.
The zoom on the thing, as it is right now, it doesn't zoom, but it takes high detail, so I can zoom like 8, 10 magnification when I get it on my computer. Which I won't be able to see until I get home.
So you might spoil the whole time by fooling around with it. Might be
Yeah.
and redo it.
Yeah.
We'll talk about lights a little bit more. There's a quick answer for you. I'll give you the long answer later. Oh, I was just laughing. I know.
You could put that on a postcard.
What did you say?
It's on the string.
Down in the.
Oh, the hand. Yeah, the hand. Yeah, the hand. The guy's in the way the whole time. Come on.
Oh, I think they're trying to take pictures and view the screen. So
Thank you.
there you go. Look at it.
Yeah, that.
He's a beautiful. That one.
Finally on our
just
side.
With the position we're at on the road, we're out on the road. So I'm not going to put it on the camera. I'll let you guys just get that one.
Let's check out some other stuff. The top of the mountain. Hopefully I get some good views of the landscape when we head back. Then I'll be on the side of the bus that faces this. Oh, amazing you can hear the river.
Just take a picture of us if you don't mind.
Oh, sure. Streams never get that big. terrain.
You see where the river comes down, where the next river?
Oh, I see them.
There you go, they're on the cape.
Okay. Yeah, very obvious.
Yeah, you want to zoom out on the camera, you can see where you're looking at.
Well, everyone likes that. Everyone has a tiny bladder. Or they drink too much. Whew. Oh. Obviously loose. Yeah, that's pretty heavy. It's not that bad.
How do you hold it to put that on your head?
I got it head down. Whew. Look at the branching river. Saw the peaks earlier of Denali. But the way it looks now, it's like probably going to be covered. So the water's all murky because it's fed by glaciers. It's got all that glacier powder and a whole lot of sediment in it, so no fish. And it's cold. It's easily it's in the 30s. It doesn't flow any larger than this, mainly because, so it kind of looks like this because it's dropping so much sediment. All of a sudden it will drop sediment and shift directions. At Denali. Technically we saw the top of the peak, so technically you're part of the 30% club. 30% club being the 30% of the time you can't, only 30% of the time you can see the mountain. Or the peaks, I think they say peaks. So far, I've seen caribou, sheep, hare, squirrel, some birds. Not a bird guy, so birds don't. People are playing with the antlers. The moose antlers, heavy. I guess each one can get up to like 40, 45 pounds, so each. So 90 pounds total at most. A little something. In 2005, they actually started finding dinosaur tracks. These are just molds of some of the tracks they found. Apparently in 2016, they found their first dinosaur bone. Not that much archaeology is occurring here. For the most part, you can't do... They find it, they'll dig it, but as for an active search, no. They're just hoping that people just stumble upon the stuff. So far, they have all the warnings for what to do if you encounter a moose. What do you do if you encounter a bear? What do you do if you encounter a wolf? So, basically run. Run for everything except, well, bear and wolf try and scare away. Slowly back away. And if, you know, and if it tries to rough you up, well, then it's time to fight and more accurately pray.
Yes.
How many packs are there?
Yeah, good question. How many packs does that fall under, right? We say we have about 72 wolves. How many packs? That's 10 packs that occupy the park. We're always, anytime we're on the road, anytime we're out here, we're in a pack's territory. So, the great question after that always comes up to, how do they really know 72?